I really hate to bother you, but Lord, I got a whole lot on my mind. I know that you're real busy, but I promise I won't take much of your time. But Lord, I need a little grace. Help me make it through.
My passion changed. I offer that as encouragement to you, to listen to where and what God is saying to you in your place right now. I don't know where that might be, but I encourage you to make sure you're open to it and listening to it. I don't doubt that God could have used a 2x4 on me, but I'm glad that I got it before we got to that place. Again, I am grateful that you're here. I hope that as you see and hear what is going on in this place, that you are also tracking in your own mind. How does this apply to where I'm from? How does this apply to my situation? Maybe I couldn't do what they're doing here where I'm from, but could we do this? I hope that we have a lot of opportunities of holy questioning this week, and opportunities to see where we see Jesus this week. We're going to kind of try to remind you each morning as we do our devotional time about looking for Jesus. Hopefully you see Jesus and the folks that are sitting around these tables right now during this week. But I am also hopeful that you will see Jesus in the people that we are working with this week. Those that others might say we're helping. We talk a lot in Christian Women's Job Corps about when helping hurts, and that sometimes we are enabling and preventing someone from going into who they can be because of our helping them. So, I hope that as we are doing things and you begin to see where we are moving away from helping to encouraging, to walking alongside, to being a journey partner with folks, that you can see that you may be able to also see Jesus in them. So, someone I see Jesus in very often is someone I want to invite to come and speak to you now. Pat, will you come and share your wisdom and all the words that you have for him? She'll have some instruction.
I am so joyful to see you here. Those of you I know and those of you I just met. It's a blessing to always welcome people to the gathering place, because this is where God has unfolded His plan to me and brought me closer to Him. And so I have learned things since I retired. You know, you think when you're going to retire, you're just going to kind of, and I didn't do all that. You know, I just started working for God, and He's a hard taskmaster. But I want to share some of that with you this week and hope to tell you some of the opportunities. Our goal this week is to show you two things, and that is Christian Job Corps and from different locations, how we operate differently. We have different specialties or different ways. We all have a covenant and 8 key elements that we live with, but you can put that to work in your own way as God shows you. So we hope to show you that and tell you more about that. And then we also hope to show you, because if you may not have a church that is a big church, and you know, even my church, we have cut off the 3rd floor. We have sealed down the 3rd floor. First Baptist down on Main Street, and it's probably got one of the biggest congregations in this town. There's a couple of others, but not Baptist. But it shows you there are many, many churches, unfortunately. It makes my heart sad. I don't care what denomination they are, if they're Christian. it makes me sad to know that so many churches have fewer people going and they seem to be shrinking. And that's what happened in this building. They got down to three participants, and no preacher, and no worship was going on. And so, but God can take something and do something else. You know, I don't know, do any of you follow The Chosen? I'm so excited, when season 5 is out. Oh, on the 15th, I turned that thing right on and said, I got up from church. And I'm like, I can't wait. It's got to be there waiting for me. And the first 2 episodes were on. So if you have not watched The Chosen, give it a try. It makes all of those characters and people from the Bible just real people when you see them in those roles. They do it so beautifully. That's why billions of people all over the world are watching this. And hopefully it'll bring more to Christ, because isn't that what we're all about? Isn't that what we're interested in? That's our job. Go ye and teach. And he didn't say exactly how, but he said go ye and share. So that's something we're able to do here, and something I have learned after I retired. And I had a good career in healthcare. I went to college and all that good stuff, had a second chance in life. My husband died, and I had to start over on my own, which seemed like a terrible thing to happen. But the starting on my own taught me a lot of things. So that's what he made out of something that was a very difficult situation. And when I retired, I said, I am going to go home and do nothing for 2 weeks at least. And then I'm going to figure out what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do something more in my Christian life, because I work long hours and you miss things, and they're having a wonderful time up there at church, and you didn't even get off work till 7 or 8 o'clock. So, I knew I wanted to do that. So I'll share this one little part of how we started this journey. Some of you heard it. So my minister then came to me and said, I understand, because I had asked somebody about Christian Job Corps. I kept going to the WMU Ignite meeting. It wasn't called that then, but, and they'd have little conferences. And the first one I went to, the speaker didn't show up. I'm like, I am never going to learn about this, And then I tried again, and they talked about it, someone else. It wasn't Carolina. I don't remember who it was, but I took back some paperwork, and I said, I'm interested. I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. What exactly more information? And this was a long time ago. I retired in 2007. So we're talking a long time ago. So I came back, and my preacher said, somebody at our church has given some money, and it has to be used for starting a new mission. And it can't be something we're doing. And I heard you wanted to go to some training, and we'll be glad to pay for you. Well, now, who's your preacher? I don't want to talk about them when they're not here, but I was like, well, I'm not going to be in charge. I'll just get some information. I had just gotten from a stressful in charge job. I'm like, I like to tie bows or something, is what I've been going for. Making something crafty. That's what I like. He was like, and I said, well, now I just can get the information. And he said, yeah, go ahead, get the information. He knew me. He said, yeah, go get that information and bring it back. And I went to that first week of training in Thomasville. And it was another funny story, because I actually went with a torn ligament that came up that morning. I think that was safe. Trying to keep me from going. But my husband said, you want to drive off with your arm under a pillow? Do you think you should be going that far? I said, I'm going. I think it's just a pull muscle. He said, okay. I don't know what you did last night in bed. I didn't see anything. I went to bed fine, and I woke up with a torn ligament, but we didn't know it was a torn ligament. I thought it was a pull muscle, and I'd get over it. Well, I didn't get over it. It was so painful. But everybody there was so wonderful. They tried everything they could. And I had to say, was it you or the lady from Mississippi? I said, I'm just gonna sit here with my arm up, but I don't have a question. Just get it out. It did it. I said, yeah, the only time I'm out of pain is when I have it up. So if I do that, don't call on me. I'm gonna sit in the back of the room so I don't disturb anybody. This is true. And they were like, something's wrong with her. Yeah, there was. But anyway, the training was wonderful. I couldn't cut my hair. I had to turn around on the bed, lay off, because I could put my arm up. So I could do like this off the end. It was just great.
I'm Deborah Taylor, and I serve on the Christian Women's Job Corps board, Christian Men's Job Corps board for the state of North Carolina. I've been a part of that for a long time, and a former WUNC president. It's been an honor and a privilege to meet so many people from around the state and be involved with Missions Carolina. This year, especially, our emphasis here at Ahoskie has been on the work of the Gathering Place and the Christian Women's and Christian Men's Job Corps here. And this morning, we're in one of their special projects that they are cooperating with the town of Ahoskie and getting to give food to families. These are mostly senior adults, and they've already been processed and approved, and they are so grateful. This morning, they were here at 5:30 waiting for the time to get their food and sat in their hot cars and in line, many of them bringing other neighbors. And it was such a privilege to get to meet them and to pray with them. We got to go from car to car, invite them to a dinner tomorrow night. Many of them had been here before for different things that been helped through this ministry, but some of them were brand new. And it was good for them to feel encouraged and safe, to meet some who were believers, some who were just exploring God, but knowing that they needed the resources from God and that it was provided through Him. And it was just a tearful time, a joyful time. As we prayed together, we got to share needs. They were sharing about physical needs, a lot of arthritis and surgeries that are coming up, but also concerns for their family. There were several that really asked for peace in family relationships, and I think that's something that we can all relate to, no matter where we are, but in this time especially. And so I'm grateful for the time to get to pray with them and to feel like I've got sisters and brothers and family all around the world who recognize the power of prayer and are dependent on God to be the great healer, the great provider. And thank you for the ministry that you do in praying for us as across the state, and ways that we can continue to be involved to restore relationships and to bring about peace in all of our communities and lives.
My name is Carolyn Vogel. I am the Executive Director of Christian Women's Job Corps of North Carolina. Been in this role since 2007. And what I have seen over the years is God moving in the places and in the hearts of people in this state to see the needs among their neighbors and to respond with the resources that they have. That has taken the form of locations that are working with women and men coming out of incarceration, with women and men who have dealt and struggled with drug addiction, substance abuse. It has come in the lives of women who have been able to restore their own families by going through classes and following the rules to the point where they have become the parents that God intended for them to be for their children. Been very excited this week here in Ahoskie to have the opportunity to introduce women and one good man to the work that's going on here with Christian Women's Job Corps and Christian Men's Job Corps, Roanoke Chowan. And in that have also been able to introduce them to Pathways of Hope in Edenton and also to Robeson County Christian Women's Job Corps. God is doing some amazing things in the lives of not only our participants, but our mentors and the volunteers and site coordinators as their hearts are also changed to try to move into a place of restoring the broken relationships of our world. I'm grateful for this opportunity to introduce a number of women who have not had a lot of experience with Christian Women's Job Corps and Christian Men's Job Corps to this place of passion that God has put in my own heart.
Impact somebody else. Your past, that piece of it, the sadness that you experience, the difficulty that you experience, it is not just for you to just sit and, yes, it's sad, yes, it's pitiful, but listen, it is for you to get up and say, I'm using this experience to go out there and I'm going to impact more people. Impact more people. When they hear my story and they look where I came from, they can look and say, if she did it, I can do it. If Ruth can leave her people, her comfort zone, and come to a foreign land, trust me, you can do it. Don't focus on your problems. Because when we focus on our problems, guess what? It keeps us down. It keeps us depressed. But when you begin to say, I have this policy in my life that I use. When I feel overwhelmed and everything is, I shut down for a few minutes and I give myself permission to get upset, cry, whatever I've got to do. I give myself time and say, you've got the permission to do it. But right after that, I said, enough. Get up. Get up, go do something different. Because if I keep sitting in there, guess what? Me, poor me, I can't believe they did that to me. You will be sitting in that pain forever. Get up, take a shower, deliberately. Pick your clothes, deliberately. Put on some perfume. So when you leave, your scent will linger on.
My name's Karen. This is Felicia, and this is Miss Deborah. And
We're from the Robeson Association. It's a joint partnership between the Burnt Swamp Association and the Robeson Baptist Association in the greater county of Robeson, the largest county in North Carolina, and headquartered mostly in Lumberton, but we reach even across the county lines, but also state lines into South Carolina.
I am the site coordinator for Robeson Community, for Christian Women Job Corps and for Robeson County. We have a diverse community, and of course Robeson County is the largest county in North Carolina, so we have a vast area to have to cover. But fortunately, what we do, we are working with 2 sites hand on hand, and that is going to be Our House and Grace Court, and that's with the Robinson Health Centers. So what we'll do, we go in and we coordinated to go in on a Tuesday morning, and also at our other site is on a Thursday morning. And we have a wide range of diversity in our area. So we have Hispanic, we have Native American predominantly, and also we have blacks, Asians. I mean, so that's the great opportunity that we have, is to be able to work with different backgrounds of people. So that's what we have been doing for a long period of time, for several years. But what we'll also do, after they have graduated from the program, we continue to work with them on one-on-one and provide different resources for them. Thank you to Robinson Community College that has stepped in, and they have also helped us. We have different churches in our community. So we have the support of everyone there in our community. Why? Why do we do this? We all have our reasons as to why we work with Christian Women Job Corps. And I have a personal reason why I do it. I have a son. He's 42 years old. He is a alcoholic, and he is currently in recovery again. But that is my personal reason. And the fact that I love how women will think that we were born Christians when we were not. They come to us, and after we have told them our personal reasons, then they have a tendency to open up just a little bit. And we have one story that we would like to share with one of our participants. And she wrote a letter, and it's just really heartwarming. So I'm going to allow Miss Deborah to go ahead and read that.
We'll just call her N, the letter N. And she said, I am sorry that I'm a little late sending you this because my boys keep me busy. She has 1-year-old twin boys. But first of all, I want to say thank you so very, very much for everything that you do for me and the other women and children here. It means the world to me. I know that I haven't been here long, but the Bible study has become my favorite time. I look forward to going on Tuesday morning because I know that y'all are going to come here all the time at 10 o'clock. I love learning God's Word, and I love learning about the Bible. I'm extremely grateful that you'll take time out of your busy schedules to come here, and I love how you nor Miss Debbie or Miss Felicia ever look down on us. I've met a lot of people in my life, and I've met a lot of people that say they're Christians, and they're good people, but in reality, it seems like they're frauds. They look down on people like me and the women here, and that's upsetting, but that's just who they are, and all I can do is to continue to pray for them as I've learned from you. I love learning God's Word and learning how to actually read the Bible and not get confused, and I owe that to you. You explain things to me in a way that I understand, and I really appreciate that. I also want to tell you again, thank you so much for the pictures that you made for Mother's Day. That was the kindest thing that anyone has ever done for me in a long time. And it meant the world to me because this is the first Mother's Day that I had with my twin boys, Lincoln and Lucas. And now I have a picture on my wall of us. I love it, and I love the Bibles that you gave me to read to the boys. They love them too. I think it is really helping soothe their mind at night when I read to them before they go to bed. And I hope that you will continue to come here and to stay with me. I know that y'all are such a pleasure to be around, and it seems like that you love all of us. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming to teach us all about how good our Heavenly Father is. And I can't wait for you to get back from the trip so I can hear all about what you're doing in Ahoskie.
And I'm at the Pembroke area office, and I really enjoy it because these girls, they're in places that I can also understand because I've been there myself. Sometimes you get some girls that are shy or timid, and then by you sharing your story, it opens the door for them to share their story. So it's just been an honor actually to be able to help these girls and get them going.
With Christian Women Job Corps, we give them a hand up and we help them to get them out of their current situations. And that is our ultimate goal, is to break this generational curse that's in their lives. Because if they don't do it, then someone else in their family is going to continue to do it. So we are at the places where family members get really frustrated. And that's understandable because of course I've been there. So we have taken the places their families cannot do and stepped in to help them. Sometimes we get frustrated with them ourselves, and we have to give them that tough love, which I think ultimately they really appreciate that. But you fall in love not with just the job, but with the girls, the families themselves. So and with showing the love of God is the reason why we do this.
It's a blessing to get to see them give back to the community. Those who are working, we have 2 that are actually working now in community agencies to help others, and they share their story of, this is how I came, these are the goals that I met, and this is God and the people that helped me with these resources, and now I want to give back and to help you. So those are a blessing, as well as others that are working in restaurants and Hobby Lobby and all different places, but to see the value that they have to give to our community and to teach their children that they can have a better life than what they may have had experienced growing up.
Now, I think you have a song as well on there too, from one of our participants.
I really hate to bother you, but Lord, I got a whole lot on my mind. I know that you're real busy, but I promise I won't take much of your time. But Lord, I need a little grace. Help me make it through. Lord, I need to feel that kind of love that only comes from you. You just squeeze my hand. Let me feel you by my side. You said you'd never leave me. You'd always be my guide. But the storms of life sometimes won't let the sun shine through. Lord, I need to feel that kind of love that only comes from you. As a child, I heard the preacher say that you were a sinner's friend. I remember when I came to you with a heart so black with sin. Oh, but now you turn my life around. See, you made me over new. The mercy that you shine below kept me coming back to you. You just squeeze my hand. Let me feel you by my side. You said you'd never leave me. You'd always be my guide. But the storms of life sometimes won't let the sun shine Lord, I need to feel that kind of love that only comes from you. Comes from you.
God sent his son, they call him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He lived and died to find my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know He holds the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives. How sweet to hold, how sweet to hold a newborn baby and feel the pride and joy He brings. But greater still, the calm assurance His child can face uncertain days because He lives. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know He holds the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives. And one day, and then one day, I'll cross the river. I'll find my smile no more with pain. And then as death gives way to victory, I'll see the lights of glory, and I know He lives. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know He holds the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives. Amen.
I'm Stephen Moore. I am the husband of Lori Barber Moore, who is on the CMJC Board of Directors for North Carolina. Being here in Ahoskie, I've already got I've seen a great deal of love shown, the love of Christ shown. You know, I had a heart for missions before I knew anything about WMUNC, before I knew anything about CWJC, CMJC. But since I have grown to get to know WMUNC and getting to know a lot of the women and men of WMUNC, and with Lori being on both the WMUNC executive board as well as the CWJC board of directors, it has gave me a great deal of fire and passion once again for missions. I think that where it gives me the passion and the fire for it is I see men and women who, like me, may not necessarily like me, but in ways have struggled like I have struggled with health issues, have struggled with finding jobs, who struggled with finding education, getting education, and using that education to get a career to. And I think that's one of the things that has helped me. I think that's one of the things that's helped giving me the passion and the fire to work, be a part of this great mission, this great way to show the love of Christ. Because Scripture says Christ went to the poor, Christ went to the needy. Why can't we? As Christians, we're called to do the same. And I love to be able to see people this week, to share my story with them, to share where I came from. Even though my story may not exactly be like theirs, they can get something out of my story. So I encourage those of you who do not know what CWJC is, what CMJC is, find out what they're about. Find out what we're about. We are helping, CWJC, CMJC is helping those who can't help themselves. We're not handing out, we're giving them a hand up. You've heard already in this video, you've heard from several site coordinators that I've interviewed and had the opportunity to interview in this video. And you've heard how they have helped people. So I encourage the churches that are viewing this, please support this wonderful outreach ministry of WMUNC. Because honestly, without your support, they can't continue doing what they're doing. I may be just a lowly videographer, photographer, but this has impact on me as well as it does others. I'm impacted by this week here in Ahoskie, just like the women I'm serving with. I may be the only guy serving this week, but it doesn't mean I may be serving in a different capacity, but it doesn't mean I'm not getting as much out of it as they are. Just to watch them share God's love, and for me to be able to share God's love every opportunity that I get. It's wonderful. So please, if you're a church watching this, or you're an individual watching this, as a husband of a CWJC, CMJC's board of directors member, please support this great ministry outreach of WMU North Carolina. Support WMU North Carolina, because if you support WMU North Carolina, you're also support CWJC, CMJC, or you can reach out and support them individually. But if you can't support financially, please support with prayer. These site directors, these site coordinators, Ms. Pat Bird here in Ahoskie, Carol Lynn, state coordinator, Felicia, Deborah, all those who you've heard from. Please support them. They need everything, all the support and love and prayers and financial support they can get. Even if you want to go and get the training and work to start a site and be a site coordinator yourself, men or women, you both could do it. Do it. I encourage you to. Thank you from everyone at CWJC, CMJC.
I really hate to bother you, but Lord, I got a whole lot on my mind. I know that you're real busy, but I promise I won't take much of your time.